How's it going, guys? It's your boy Fix It Daniel, and today we are going to be finishing up the Roar pedal build. We've had it installed for a while. I've taken it out and used it and tried it out. Now I'm going to give you my review on it. So, without further ado, let us get into it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have not seen my videos, please go down, like and subscribe, and check it out. But today, we're going to be talking about this, the Roar pedal that I just installed on my 2012 Ford F-150. I installed it a while ago, and I hadn't done a complete finished review. I did take it out a couple of weekends ago on a long road trip to see my brother-in-law, and up in Christiansburg, Virginia, Blacksburg, Virginia area. So we definitely took it for a nice, good ride. We definitely took it and used it for what it was for, and I think I got a good review on it. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about it. So let's get into what this is all about. So the first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna go out to the truck and I'm gonna show you guys how easy it was to install it. It's already been installed, but I'm just going to show you it in detail of, where it is, what the dongle looks like, and the app, and where I have mine on my truck. And then we will go and then we'll talk about my experience with it, and then we'll come back inside and talk about that. So let's go out to the truck, and I'm going to show you guys the full installation of it already installed and everything, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys, so we're going to show you how it was installed. It's already been installed, so we'll just show you where it is. So there's my pedal, electronic pedal, and then as you see there, this little bracket cable, that's the actual Roar pedal thing. So it's a little tucked up because I had it zipped. So if we just follow it, I have it zipped up all the way up there. Sorry, I probably can't show it to you because it's already zipped up type there. But it's really quite simple. It's really easy to plug and play. This is a lot easier because the Ford F-150, there's nothing in the way. You just take this off, you put your jumper cable, and then it runs all the way up. Let's see if I can show it to you. So there is my Roar pedal little component. It's zip tied. I have it zip tied to the actual frame, but I'm trying to get you a better shot of it. But yep, there it is right there. And then as you see, this black line, if you follow it going this way, it's actually connected to the harness that was supposed to be connected to this throttle piece. But there it is right there. There's the whole entire thing. So this dongle is the whole entire unit. It's got the Bluetooth and everything. There's no more wires. So that means there's no more connecting, running it, trying to tuck it all in, because if we get in, I'll show it to you. Close this door because of the airplane. So if you see, here is my remote. So now it is 100%, there's no wires. It's all Bluetooth. So it's really quite simple. I can just hold it down. It powers itself. It has its own battery supply inside, and it's got a little micro Type-C connector to charge it. And then once it recognizes it, it's not going to recognize it now because the car's not on. But so now here it is. And then you just normally just go through your modes. It's just the same thing, just like the original one. So you just hit your modes. There's eco. If your vehicle has an eco mode, you can do that. Mine does have an eco mode, which is surprising because I do have an equal fuel, so obviously I have eco mode. Now I can't make my own adjustments without this, so whatever the truck has it set for my eco mode, that's pretty much it. But I can adjust it here. I can go up from 1 to 9 on all 3 levels, which is eco, race mode, sport plus mode, and sport mode. All of them go from 1 to 9. You can just adjust it however you want. Play with it. Like I always say, play with it, get your adjustments. Everything's pretty much set on either 1 or 2. This is only set for 1 because it does take away a lot of the eco part. So we got eco mode, we got a race mode. I just had it at 3 to be playing with it, but I actually we'll put it back to a 2. So then Sport Plus 2. 2 seems to be the good number for this truck because it's not a sport truck. It's just a regular old plain Jane kind of a work / truck. So this isn't like a 2-door sport truck where you could kind of play with it a little bit more because it has more power, because the truck is meant to be more of a sport truck than an actual work kind of truck. This is kind of a work luxury truck. So I would think so. That's the reason why. But then, yep, and then you just hit it and you go back to your normal modes. Now, the other cool part about this is that if you don't, let me get my phone out here. If you don't want to use this, and one of the reasons, why, the only thing I have my concern with is that this doesn't stay on at times. So when you're driving and you hit your modes, it'll actually go off. So in order for you to, it'll actually set and then it'll go out. So if you wanted to change your modes, you have to re-log back into it, where the old one, you didn't have to do that. The old one, you were pretty much already logged it. Once the car was on, it turned on and it stayed on until you turned the car off. Well, this isn't the case. So with this, that's the only thing I have a concern with, is that if you really wanted to make a quick change, you have to wait for it to be logged in, and then you have to wait for it to come up, and then you can make your changes. Now, I have said this once before, do not make your changes as you're driving. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is, when you have it in a mode that you want, say you're in sport mode or sport plus mode or whatever mode you're in, and you got your foot on the throttle, I would not advise you to make your changes while you are in motion, or while your foot's on the gas. Now, there's a trick that I figured out, is basically when you, hang on a second, let me turn this off real quick. When you are in different modes, you can change them, but if your foot is already on the throttle as you're making those mode changes, I had one bad experience with my 05 when I was on my first road trip, that it did some weird thing to where I had to pull over, turn the car off, then turn it back on, and everything was fine. But as I had my foot on the throttle, I changed it from a different mode and the car freaked out. Probably because the signal was interpreting something different on the fly, which is not good to do. So yes, you can coast. I've done it a bunch of times. It hasn't given me any issues. I would not try to do it while your foot's on the throttle and making your mode changes. I have had bad experiences with that. So definitely just coast. Just get someplace where you're on, like if you're on the highway, get a nice open spot where no one's in front of you. Get your roar pedal remote thing on, and then when you're ready, take your foot off the throttle, let yourself coast, change your different modes, and then you can get right back on the throttle. It works perfectly fine. Now, here's the other way that might be a little more easier when you want to do that. So let me show you on my phone. They also have, the best part is that you can choose. You can choose between using this, as you see it's already off, or you can go to your phone. Now your phone stays on all the time, and you still have the options of going to different modes. You can go to all your modes that you want, and then you can change them up top here, which is really quite cool. And then, you can switch it right back. So, and then it also has much different stuff in here. It has a learning mode. You can learn your habits. You can lock it. So you can lock it so no one can change it on you. And then they got some different system settings as well. So this is really cool. I've used this before. This is a lot faster than using the remote. They do sell it in different conversions where you could get just the dongle and the piece, and then you just run it off your phone, or you can get the remote and you'll be able to do both. So I just got them to do both, so because if I don't ever have my phone on me, then at least I can change it here. Or if this dies, I can change it on my phone. So I have two different options instead of just one option, whether it be the phone or it be the remote. I have two different options I can go to changing the roar pedals mode if something happens. If I lose my phone or forget my phone, I have the remote here, or if this dies, the brakes gets destroyed, I have it on my phone. It's really quite simple. There's the best of both worlds. It really does really work out. So yeah, it is a really quick and simple installation. I really like it. I do like the fact that in this truck, it's a lot more roomier compared to my Cadillac, where I had to take all 3 bolts of the pedal off, get it unplugged, and get it out just so I can unplug it and then tighten it back up. Kind of a pain in the butt on that, but it depends on your application of where your throttle control is and how accessible it is. It could be a little tight. But once you get everything all set and get it all going and get everything all nice and tucked, it works out really good. I really do like it. Like I said before, I was a little skeptical about it because of what I've experienced from the V6, from my V6 and V8 one, but I took a chance on this one because this is totally different. So I will say that the roar pedal feels a little different between a car and a truck. One of the reasons is that my car didn't have a max mile an hour top end, where this one does. This one has this one's set to like 90 miles an hour on this truck because of the tires. The tires are big, and the from the factory is set to 90 so it doesn't blow the tires. Now I could get a tuner and move the speedometer up a little bit, at least 120, so that way I have a little bit more room to play with it if I wanted to get on it. Because in this truck, if you want to get around somebody and you're already doing, like, say you're doing 80 and you want to get around somebody and you only got like 10 more 10 or 15 more miles before you max out. So in a car, it's different, or anything else that doesn't have that limit set to like 90. You can definitely enjoy the experience of getting on it a little bit more. With this vehicle, it works good getting off the line, which would be good for towing and hauling. Like I said, I'll explain to you my experience I had when I went to Blacksburg going up and down in the hills. It did extremely well. But for this truck, for the roar pedal, it'd be really good for pulling something if you've got something in the back of your towing, or even if you're hauling something in the bed if it's really heavy. This will help accelerate the truck a lot more, instead of it just being just a regular transmission doing its thing, or you use the tow and haul button. I do have a tow and haul button on this. That does help with the transmission and gives you a little bit more of a longer shifts and more crisper shifts when you're towing and hauling something. But with that on, and then the roar pedal actually helping with that, taking away that lag that most cars now these days have, works out really, really well. So those go hand in hand. So I would say that the roar pedal is like a helper with the tow and haul button, or just hauling in general. You don't even have to turn on the tow and haul button anymore. You can just use the roar pedal to help boost the throttle response to give you more power when you're towing and hauling something, or you're just going up and down hills in a hilly area. Like I said, it is the difference of feeling now that I got a chance to try it with a car and a truck. There is a difference in different, vehicles. Like a car, you're going to have all the acceleration, the fast power, all that stuff like that. But you do have to keep in mind that if your vehicle is not equipped for that extra kind of power, if it was never made for that, then you will be limited to, you'll have a good experience with it. You'll have faster acceleration, but you can't treat it like a Hellcat. You can't treat it like a sports car that was meant to have the power. The transmission's been built for something like that. If your car is a regular everyday vehicle and you use the roar pedal, yes, you'll have a good experience with it, but it also can, your car is not meant to have that kind of power, even though it says that it doesn't harm anything, which it kind of doesn't, but it kind of does. It's like a fine line between the two. It's a yes and a no kind of thing. Yes, it does kind of put a little more wear and tear into your car, but no, it actually doesn't destroy it. So it's a definite thin line of it. So but it is a good product if you use it in the right way. And use it in a vehicle that's recommended to have it. Like if you stick it in a Hellcat, I bet you'll have all the fun in the world with that thing, because the Hellcat's built to take beatings. Mustangs and Camaros and high-end sports cars are meant to kind of take a beating. But if you put it in your everyday vehicle that's not meant to take a beating like that, you could eventually cause some issues with your vehicle. You just have to be careful, because what it does is now it gives you a heavy foot because your car is faster. Yeah, it doesn't give you any performance gain, but it just turns up the voltage response to your throttle, which is causing you to give you more than it would normally do. Normally it would kind of rise and give it to you, but now it's all there at the moment you push it. So you just got to be mindful of it, and then you can really enjoy it if you actually be mindful of how you use it. So right now we're gonna go inside, and I'm going to explain to you my experience of how this all worked out. Okay, guys. So pretty much it's a good product. I really like the product. It really was easy to install, as you saw. It's really more simple now. With the Bluetooth, it makes everything work really, really great. Now, as far as my testing and how I use this, so basically going up to Blacksburg to see my brother-in-law, there's a lot of mountains and hills, and everything. So the truck probably would have handled okay going up and down the hills. You can mash the throttle and get on it. But with the war pedal and using it up there, I noticed that I didn't really have to mash on it too hard because of the lag that it normally comes with most vehicles. This actually didn't have that. So by using the war pedal and using it in the correct way, I feel that it worked perfectly fine. It took the hills with no problem. I didn't struggle going up them. I didn't have any issue when I used the war pedal, but I did notice a difference between using it and not using it. Not using it, it did a little, you have to mash on the throttle a little bit, and then it goes. It goes. I usually use the toe and haul, and that'll usually work just to see the difference. But I kept it mostly on using the war pedal up there, especially when I was on the highway and stuff. I always stayed between Sport Plus and Plus. Sport Plus is a little more faster with the acceleration, so that worked out really well. And even driving it for hours on the highway was great. I did turn it off and on depending if I ran into traffic or I didn't need that much power going around the corners and stuff like that, or going up and down the hills or whatever. Most of the time when I was on a country road, I normally turned it off because the acceleration is pretty quick. And I don't need to go around the corner super fast. The regular, because it's a stop and go up and down hills. So that actually worked really well. There were some off road that I did use it on because when we got off the highway because of the backup, I had to go through Skyline Drive. And if anybody is from the Blue Ridge area, you know where Skyline Drive is. It's beautiful up and down through the mountains. You're up in the mountains. You can see, as far as the eye can see, you look down, you're up, and the elevation goes up and down, twists and turns. Beautiful, beautiful view. If you've never been on Skyline Drive, I highly recommend taking it. I didn't get a chance to stop, and I wasn't on it for very long. It was only for like a few miles, and then I got back on the highway. But just for the moment that we were on it, going up, I didn't have any issues. I was actually going around cars because some lanes were 2-lane, where I can go around the car if I had to. So using that war pedal in that was working really, really good. I didn't like mash on it too hard. It was quick acceleration. I could get around vehicles. I could get up the hills pretty fast than other trucks. I'm pretty sure people were wondering how I was going so fast up those hills. Well, I was using the war pedal to help assist me, and it works really good. I even used it when we were staying at the cabin, because the downhill to get down and up is probably like a 20 or 30 degree incline, or going up. So it was definitely needed, and I used the locking differential, which helped get it up there, and it worked perfectly fine. As far as gas wise using it, like I always said before, that it eats gas more. Yes, it does, but I normally had it on cruise control, and I didn't really was trying to haul. But with the roar pedal and the way that it has with the snappy acceleration, the push along was actually quite good. And when you're going through the mountains and you're not really driving that long, I really wasn't paying attention to the miles per gallon. But I think out of the whole entire trip, I think I had gassed up 3 times. That's me being up there the whole entire weekend, and going where I needed to go, back, up and down, up to the cabin and back. I think I gassed like 3 times, which is actually pretty good. That's from Friday to Sunday. I only gassed 3 times, filling up. So that's actually not bad. Yeah, it's really good product. This is a really good product, guys. I highly recommend it, especially for trucks. It really works really well. I could see it working really well if you were hauling or pulling something, but just me using it to get up and down the hills and the mountains and stuff of Northern Virginia, it did amazing. And I cannot thank War Pedal enough for giving me at least the promotion to get a discount to use this. Now I can't give out the discount because they didn't support. They didn't. They're not supporting this episode. I'm just saying that they gave me a promotional deal to get a discount to get it. I still have to pay with my own money, so I can't give out the discount code, and I think it's only a one-time use anyway, and I use it to get this. So yeah. But definitely go check them out. Don't let the fact that, I got a discount code change your mind on it, because it's a really good product. I definitely had it in 3 of my vehicles, and I would definitely recommend using it. If you don't want to add any crazy horsepower, turbo, superchargers, and you just need something to give you that little oomph, because most cars these days have that wire lag. I call it wire lag because it does. There's a little bit of a lag between you stomping on the throttle, but like if you had a cable, it's instantaneous, just like that. So that's the difference. It just takes away that lag that most drive-by-wire throttle systems have. It's just the way they come. Some have it and some don't. Like you get something like a Hellcat or something like that, you're probably not going to have that lag. But anything high-performance vehicle or truck or something like that, you probably won't have that lag. But an everyday vehicle that doesn't have that performance package or superchargers or whatever, you may have some lag. But it's not anything like terrible that you need to go out and get it. If you don't like that lag and you want the instant power, the instant feel, the instant acceleration, then the War Pedal is what you would want to get. Now, the War Pedal does not add any horsepower, doesn't take your 200 horsepower car to 300 horsepower. It does nothing like that. It just gives you the feel and the movement of you got some serious power, but there's no power additive. There's no power gain. You're still pushing the 200 and some horsepower. You're just pushing it faster. And everything like that. So, but if you had something that was supercharged and turbocharged and you tried using this, I'm sure you would notice a really impeccable difference, because the horsepower gain, the War Pedal will match that, and you'll feel it a lot faster. And you feel like you're going faster, feel like your car's got more horsepower, but it actually doesn't. It just takes away that signal lag and gives it to you 100%. So, but yes, so that's pretty much it, guys. That's all I really wanted to do, was conclude it. I know it took some while to get to it. Just had been busy working. My daughter had gotten sick, and I just been grinding at work. And I just hadn't got a chance to get to doing a review on this. So this is the review for the War Pedal in the F-150. Worked out really well. I highly recommend everybody getting one if you like to. I will put a link in the description for the War Pedal site, so that way you guys can check it out yourself. You just put in your year, make, and model. These War Pedals are particular to a certain vehicle. You cannot interchange them in different cars. You have to put in the year, make, and model of your vehicle so they can make it towards that particular vehicle. Now, you can change it if it's going from the same vehicle to the next vehicle. Like you get another new F-150 that's the same year, make, and model. You can't buy a new 2020 and stick it into the F-150. It may not work that way. It has to be for the particular year, make, and model. So just keep that in mind. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I know it's probably pretty short, but I just wanted to finish it off. I got my data and my information, so I wanted to give it to you guys. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. You guys have a good and blessed day, and I'm going to see you in the next fix. Until then.